What's up guys, you're watching India Today Tech. I'm Rahul Sethi, and this video we're going to take a look at the Galaxy M30, the next version of the M20 that comes with an AMOLED panel and triple camera setup at the back. We'll take a look at the differences also between the M20 and M30 in this video. So let's get started. So the M30 comes in a very similar box as the M20, and you'll see specs are mentioned at the back side, and the water drop style notch, as they call the Infinity U display, is present on this phone as well. There's a triple camera setup at the back and a 5000 mAh battery inside, which is quite nice. Also, this is powered by fast charging, so we'll see that in a moment. The chipset, as you can see, is Exynos 7904, which is same as M20, so don't expect an improvement in performance compared to that phone. But you get 4GB of RAM and 64GB of storage on the base variant, and there will be a 128GB variant as well, but of course it will be more expensive in comparison. Anyways, let's pull out the phone and take a look at the box contents. At the first, you get a box that has a quick start guide that tells you how to set up the smartphone and how to use charging and everything. I think you don't need that. Then there's a warranty card that gives you the warranty information, and that is it. Next, we have the phone itself. Let me keep it aside and let's take a look at the box contents first. The charger, as you can see, has a 9V 1.67 ampere of output, which turns out to be a 15-watt adapter. It's not really very fast charging like the OnePlus's dash charging, but it is much better than regular 10-watt or 5-watt adapters you get in the budget segment, although many phones nowadays are coming with fast charging. Next, you get a Type-C USB cable. So charging is done over Type-C USB, but as you can see, the cable is not very long. Lastly, you have a SIM ejector tool. So let's quickly use it to pull out the SIM tray and take a look at the phone's design. So the M30 has a slight difference in the gradient finish at the back. You get a dual tone finish compared to the M20 that had a single color available with it. Also, you can see it looks more finished and polished compared to the M20, which did not look very appealing, although the material used is very similar in both the smartphones. We'll compare them again, but let's quickly take a look at the M30's design features. You get a headphone jack, a Type-C USB port, a primary microphone and speaker at the bottom. On the right, you get the volume rocker and the lock button, which is perfectly accessible when you're using the phone with one hand. Then on the left, you get the SIM tray. Let me pull it out and take a look at the slots you get with the phone. So it's again a triple slot tray that allows you to expand the storage and add 2 SIM cards simultaneously. And at the top, you get the secondary microphone as well for noise cancellation, which was available with M20 as well. At the back side, you get the fingerprint scanner and a triple camera setup, which includes a normal primary camera, a depth sensor and a wide angle camera. There's also a single LED flash put below the camera modules. So M30 is all set, and as you can see, the display on the device is pretty nice. It's quite an amazing Super AMOLED panel with full HD plus resolution, and the screen size is 6.4 inches as you just saw in the specifications. Now, there is one good thing to note about this smartphone is the fact that it comes with a 16 megapixel front camera, while it's half, that is 8 megapixel on the M20. So that is also a big difference compared to the M20. Samsung is not specified the glass used on the display, but it looks quite smooth. In fact, smoother compared to the M20, and it also appears to be 2.5D curved glass. But whatever it is, the experience seems to be better than the M20. Also, one important thing to note is the fact that it still runs the Experience UI, which is built on the Android 8.1 Oreo. It does not run Android 9 Pie, and Samsung has not specified when or if there will be an update pushed to this smartphone running on the Android 9 Pie. So as you can see, it runs the Experience 9.5 UI, and this is the Android version used on the device. Now, I've set up the fingerprint scanner on the device as well, and you'll see it's ultra fast. I mean, it doesn't take it any more than a single second to unlock the screen, which is quite nice and amazing about the M30. Now if you compare with the M20, you will see the phones are very similar in size, although the M30 has a slightly bigger 6.4 inch display and that on the M20 is 6.3 inch. But you'll see bezels on both these smartphones are very much similar and you get a good screen to body ratio. Also the notch is slightly differently done on the M30, it's sharper while it's very near to the teardrop as they say on the M20. The display brightness levels are easily visible, the M20 being not as bright as the M30, but both these phones have a very bright display. And let me open a white window and you will see that M20 is closer to the accurate white that we're used to seeing compared to the M30 that looks a little yellowish. Now that may be a drawback of the AMOLED panel. So the M30 does appear to be having a yellowish display and the colors would appear consequently not very accurate. Also you'll see that the thickness of these two devices is very similar. Of course they pack a 5000 mAh battery, so that is going to be pretty obvious, and the weight of these two smartphones is also very similar. So all in all, the design and build quality and the weight of the two smartphones is the same. But now let's take a look at the cameras. I mean the selfie camera on these two smartphones is different. It should be better on the M30 since it is a 16 megapixel sensor compared to the M20 that has a 8 megapixel sensor. So let me click a photo and take a look at the photos. So definitely the M30 appears to be slightly better. As you can see, the color production is much closer to the accurate scene and the dynamic range on the smartphone, as you can see, is much better. Although I've clicked the photo in low light situation and you will see the M30 handles color and skin tones much better compared to the M20. So in comparison, the M20's photo appears slightly washed out, but then again there is a difference in the display. So let's take a look at the photos directly. So as you will notice, there is a good amount of difference in the details captured by the two phones, and overall the M30 does appear to have an edge over the M20. Now if you talk about the rear panel, it has same camera, the 13 megapixel primary and a 5 megapixel ultra wide camera, but then again there is a depth sensor accompanying the primary camera, so we expect a better portrait shot. So here are some portrait shots taken from the two phones. So overall the M30 does appear to be quite a nice proposition, but it totally depends on what the price of the M30 comes out to be, as at the time of unboxing I don't really know the price yet. If it is around 15,000 rupees, then it makes sense to get the M30 and not the M20, because one, you do get an AMOLED panel which is quite nice, but you also get a better front camera and you get a depth sensor with the rear camera as well, which does slightly make a difference. Otherwise, most of the things are very similar on the M30. You get the same battery, you get the same chipset, performance, interface and everything else. The fast charging as well is similar on this device. Do let me know what you think about the M30 in the comment section below, and if you like this video, hit the thumbs up button and share it with your friends. Subscribe to our channel to get latest videos on technology, smartphones and their comparison videos as well. Thank you for watching this video.